Good morning. How are you today? Good. Thank you. Welcome to Introduction to Psychology. Did you have a good, like a first day of semester yesterday? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we welcome you. This semester is a little different than last semester. I usually have, more than 10 students here, so we can kind of discuss together and then give a time. We do not have much students, but I know we are watching. Concurrent students, they are watching through TV. So I'm going to call their name because this is our first day of, Introduction to Psychology class. So but before that, we need to make a name card. Name card is just like this. So I have papers here. Would you like to choose your favorite color?
It don't matter. Thank you very much. He might be in the wrong class.
Oh, you're in the wrong class? Okay, it's okay. So it happens. Hopefully you can find your class well. Okay, so Daniel, yeah. Are you sure pink is your favorite? Yeah, have a great day. Okay, it doesn't matter? Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe I will go with the pink then. Same with you. So this is like a mathematics. So this is like a 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3. So 1/3 goes down. Have you ever done any, like a paper folding, origami? Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
Yes. So today is the day you will experience a little bit of those. So here, I'm doing only 1/3 getting down here. If you can follow me, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and this last 1/3 part goes up. So here. Okay, so now it's a standing name card. So if you can write your name in the middle, that would be great. I will give you a marker. Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I got a new one. I will be same with Daniel. So I'm gonna use the pink name card for this semester. Yay. Okay. Okay, good. So we are all done. The first step of making your own name card. And second one is I'm gonna call everybody's in class through, I know concurrent students, they're watching us. I'm gonna call their name because today is our first day of school. Morgan, we welcome you. Rachel, we welcome you. Sarah, we welcome you. Daniel, we welcome you. Edison, we welcome you. And Jordan, we welcome you. And Alexis, we welcome you. And Maine, we welcome you. So we are all here. So next one will be, I'm going to give you a syllabus. So we can talk about syllabus, about this class. So here.
More middle seat.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so this is Introduction to Psychology class. those course number will be PSY 111310VO because we are broadcasting this lecture through RSU TV, and concurrent students, they are watching us. So those are VO mean, but I'm here. I'm going to be here with Daniel every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 to 11:15. Okay, so that's our class. I have office hour. I know concurrent students, they may not reach through those office hour, but usually answer very quickly within 24 hours through email. So email is the best way you can communicate. So please use email. My office hour is Monday, Tuesday, 2:15 to 4 p.m. and Wednesday, 10 to 1 p.m. and Thursday, 11:30 to 1 p.m. So anytime, even if there's not office time, please email me ahead so I can meet you. Okay. So instructor contact information, we are kind of going down. I'm going to go over your syllabus. I already put your syllabus through the Blackboard. So concurrent students, you may see my syllabus through website. So here, my email address is kmoon@rsu.edu. So here, maybe I'm going to introduce about myself. My name is Sarah Kyung-hee Moon-seo. That's my full name. What is your full name, Daniel?
Daniel Luke Landry.
Okay, so I feel like I won the game because I have a longer name than you, right? Okay, so I was born in Seoul, South Korea and raised there. And then I came to United States to study more about psychology and education. So my background is Sarah was my grandma's name. Sarah was my grandma's name on my father's side, and she doesn't know any English. Even she have a hard time sometimes writing in Korean. But her name was Sarah Kim when she lived in a very small town in South Korea. When you are born as a girl, they do not name right away. Because, it's another girl. They are expecting boy because usually firstborn boy, they're going to take care of their parents. Yeah, so it's another girl. So for a while, they do not name right away. They gave her maybe pretty and cutie for a while. So when missionary came to the little town, they built a church and they named all the girls who didn't have a name at that time. So my grandma got Sarah as her first name. So Sarah Kim is my grandma, and she used to live with us and raise me. I have a good memory with my grandma. So when I came here, the United States, Kyung-hee is was my Korean name. My friends, my colleagues, they say, oh, maybe it's a little kind of hard to pronounce. Is there any maybe nickname we can call you? Yeah, you can call me Sarah because Sarah is my grandma's name. I like her so much. So Sarah become my first name. Kyung-hee Moon is my middle name, and so. So I go by my email address by my middle name, which is kmoon@rsu.edu. So concurrent students, you're watching us. My email address is kmoon@rsu.edu. So you can email me anything you want to discuss, maybe have some questions about this class. Okay, so course description. Could you read course description, Daniel?
Yes, ma'am. A survey of the major areas of study in psychology, such as motivation, learning, physiology, personality, social psychology, industrial organizational psychology, perception, cognition, abnormal behavior, and treatment.
Okay, thank you so much. I love your voice. Thank you. Yay. So this is introduction to psychology. It's such a diverse area. We are going to cover, not because when we say psychology, people may think about, oh, that's about counseling, maybe therapy, right? But actually psychology does have a very broad aspect of learning area, which is maybe teaching and learning, our memory, and intelligence, some physiological reactions. So it does have, we are going to talk about biology, like a brain function, yeah, and also the relationship, like social psychology, because we do live together, yeah. I met Daniel for the first time through this class right now, but we know each other. We try to get to know each other better because we can communicate better and try to understand that person's background. So if something happened, we can be better understanding about the situation, right? So we will talk all different kind of a diverse area of psychology through this class. So I'm so excited, and this is more like introduction. So which means I'm going to cover as much as possible, little by little, all the areas. Yeah. And if you really like certain subject, like developmental psychology, which is one of the chapter, you may take the developmental psychology for your next semester. If you really like social psychology, you may take that class as a next level of the next semester, because usually those development psychology is a 1 semester, and social psychology is 1 semester. But we are dealing 1 chapter. Yeah, we do have 15 chapters, and we will talk about pretty much every aspect of psychology. Yes, yes. Oh, by the way, I got my master's and PhD at the University of Texas. So you can call me Dr. Moon. So I go by Dr. Moon. Yeah, I have such a long name, but I go by Dr. Moon. So you can call me. I know the concurrent students, you do not listen. I mean, you may watch me and you just email me, Dr. Moon, dear. Yeah, hi, Dr. Moon. Yeah, what's the assignment of this? And I have a question. Yeah, you can call me Dr. Moon. Okay, course objectives and course outcomes. Daniel, if you don't mind, could you read? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Upon course completion, students will be able to define and explain basic psychological concepts. Number 2, interpret research findings related to psychological concepts. Number 3, apply psychological principles to personal growth and other aspects of everyday life. Number 4, draw logical and objective conclusions about behavior and mental processes from empirical evidence. Number 5, examine how psychological science can be used to counter unsubstantiated statements, opinions, or beliefs.
Okay, wow, that's a big words there, right? But basically, we really want to cover, every much about human's mind and behavior and all the aspect of learning and development through this class. Okay, there's a general education student learning outcomes. This course is a part of your general education course, right? So Daniel, probably you're taking this class as a part of fulfill your general education area, I believe. Yeah. So those are general education goals too. So if you don't mind, could you read one more time?
Yes, ma'am. This course is one of the general education courses at RSU and supports the following student learning outcomes, or SLOs. After this course, students will be able to 1, think critically and creatively, 2, acquire, analyze, and evaluate knowledge of human cultures and the physical and natural world. Okay. 3, use written, oral, and visual communication effectively. 4, develop an individual perspective on the human experience and demonstrate an understanding of diverse perspectives and values. And number 5, demonstrate civic knowledge and engagement, ethical reasoning, and skills for lifelong...
The next page, learning. Sorry. Learning.
Can you find it?
Yes.
Learning. Yeah, there learning. We go. I'm blind.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. Thank you so much.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much. I appreciate you. So we do have a required material, which is My Psychology. I brought the textbook. This is like a textbook. I encourage you to buy textbook because we have 5 exams. Those are all online. Probably you need a textbook. If you have a textbook, it's kind of easy to find your answers for each exam. But somehow, if you cannot afford the 3rd edition, there's a lower the division edition of the a 2nd edition. It's still working. If you feel like that's a cheaper way, you can get those textbook. My Psychology 2nd edition. That's okay too. Yeah, so, but now we are using third edition, but during the lecture, I try to cover as much as, all the information for the exam. So if you're focusing on my lecture, you will not have much problem. But, always textbook does have, extra information, and for your exam, maybe it can be handy and easy for you. So I, encourage you to buy, but if you cannot afford, or just let me know. Yeah, Daniel, maybe let me know. Maybe I can, maybe you can borrow mine, another like a lower level of the introduction, the psychology class too. Okay, so that's the textbook we need, and course requirement. I know that's really important. Your grading is really matter to you. It's really matter to me too. Yeah. So here, class attendance and class participation, which is 40 points. I know we do have a concurrent students. Whenever you watch us through the TV, there's a what did you learn? This chapter 1. So please write down what did you learn and try to respond to one of the students. So I know, Daniel, you will be here, so you don't need to do those. But if you want to, you can do. But I usually bring attendance paper, so you can kind of mark you are here. So attendance is really important because you need to communicate with me even though I do not see you. It's really important, because I assume you are listening my lecture, all the concurrent students, and also Daniel is here. And sometimes if you miss the class, I will be really sad, but you can watch the lecture later through the TV. As well. Yeah. Okay. So that's the 40 point. Basically, this is I'm going to check on you. Yeah. Each chapter, what did you learn throughout this, chapter? So you kind of write down very short, maybe 50 words about what did you learn and try to respond to other students, for the concurrent students. But if you're attending my class, you don't need to. You don't need to. That's the 40 point. And in class assignment, those are total 8 points. There are 4 in-class assignments. We are going to do together in the class, and I'm going to give you very detailed information. So you don't need to worry about it, but you need to turn in. Each in-class assignment is 20 points. Yeah. So for example, first hour in-class assignment will be brain function while you are driving. So we are going to go over together. I'm going to teach you about brain development and how our brain work, and when we are anxious, and how those kind of connected with our a brain and our behavior. So after that, we are going to do those activities as an in-class assignment. And reflection paper, there is one reflection paper, those are required. At the end of each chapter, there's a what's your take? Those are questions. I already put out all the questions about what's your take and put under the course material. So you can kind of read what kind of questions you can write as a reflection paper topic. But during the lecture, I'm going to cover as well. Yeah, this can be good reflection paper topic. If you want to write on it, you can choose that topic. You don't need to choose all the reflection paper topic. You need to choose only one among lots of topic. But my expectation will be, do not only answer those questions, please relate to with your life, reflect your life. Yeah, about talking about certain topic. Okay, yeah, but I will explain more about those reflection paper. Those are 20 points, almost like the middle of the semester. That's the due day. But you can write one more, which is like an extra point, which is awesome. I encourage everybody try to plan to write this extra paper. This is 20 points, yeah, from final those point. So it's really, you will experience not life-changing experience, but grade-changing experience. So it will be like D to C and C to B and B to A. So I highly recommend thinking about writing one more paper, reflection paper. And it's not that hard at all. Yeah. 2 page, but it's a double spaces. So I know some of you, maybe this is my first time having those assignments. So you're afraid of writing about your life and maybe relating with those topics. In that case, it's okay. You can choose one topic and write 1 page long. And then choose another topic and write 1 page long. I really do care about at least a 2-page long paper, which means I realize at least 2-page long paper makes students feel more think over about that topic and relating with their life. So that's the main reason. So if you're not sure about how can I make a 1 topic with a 2-page long paper, in that sense, it's okay. You can choose 2 topics, right? Choose 1 and write to 1 page, and choose another one and choose 1 more page. Yeah? You feel like you can do it, Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Awesome. So exam, there are 5 exams. It's all multiple choice. It will be through the Blackboard. So, and also I'm going to give you study guide. So it's not that hard if you listen to my lecture and if you have a textbook. Even though if you do not have a textbook, if you pull out all the information through those PowerPoint and listen to my lecture, you will have a good score. Yeah, so that's the 50 points. So 1 exam, the questionnaire will be 1 point. But we have chapter 1, 2, 3, and then we will have an exam 1, and chapter 4, 5, 6, and exam 2. So in that way, but I'm going to remind you during the class, we finished our chapter 3, maybe this is time to take exam 1. And even during the class, we are going to exercise. Maybe I'm going to tell you, what's the number 1 question? Yeah, number 1 question is, I will kind of get there soon, but yeah, I'm going to tell about, it will be on your exam. Sometimes I'm going to tell you. So, you can underline those exams, those, questions. So grading, there will be 5 exams, online exam, and attendance, which is, I want to say, class participation, because we are not attending here, but I think you are watching the TV. So through TV, you are participating. So after finishing each chapter, please write what did you learn through this chapter. So you can kind of write about your opinion and communicate with other students. Okay, good. Okay, and in-class assignment, there will be 4 in-class assignment. So each assignment will be 20 points, so it will be 80 points. And reflection paper, there's 1 reflection paper in the middle of the semester, but I highly recommend you thinking about writing 1 more as an extra point. So total point will be 390. Okay, academic misconduct and AI and plagiarism and other non-academic misconduct. I do not think we need to have extensive AI help for this class, because this is more like what you think of. Yeah, and if you really want to research, please let me know if you really need an AI assist about finding some articles. But RSU library does have a good articles and research resources. But honestly, for all the assignment, it's based on the lecture and based on textbook information. So you don't need to have those highly AI assistant any research papers for this introduction to psychology. Okay, and the next page. Students with disabilities, withdrawal, early alert, and equal opportunity statement, and academic success services, all the informations are there, and schedules. If you kind of see the schedule, those are important page for you, because I try to follow schedule, thoroughly if it is possible. So those are schedule, but I'm gonna let you know. I got a love letter from the court, so I will be jury duty in September. So I'm gonna let you know. It will be like September 15. So that week I'm not sure because sometimes I served. 2017, and they called me again. So I'm not sure about if this time I can be chosen or not, but I'm gonna let you know through the email. So in that sense, we may need to cancel, that class, but I will let you know. It kind of close to the September, middle of the September. But I try to follow all the schedule. Looking at here, the week, the Sunday, so August 17 was Sunday, we are covering now chapter 1, the science Science of Psychology, our first class on August 19. So today is August 19, yeah? So we are beginning of this Introduction to Psychology class. Okay, good. I'm excited to teach you and welcome you everybody. Okay, so now I'm gonna, we need to get to know each other about the students. Yeah, so this is interview paper. Since we have Daniel here, maybe you can write down your information for me. No, maybe I can ask. Yeah, you can kind of write. Yeah. So here, I already put the introduction through the Blackboard. So other students, they can write down those information through the Blackboard. So here, my first question, maybe I'm gonna give it to the Daniel. So Daniel, you can maybe write, yeah, about your information. So this is already on your Blackboard. The first question is, what is your name? Yeah, can you write your name? Yeah, what is your name? The second one is, what is your major, or what would you like to study more? Maybe you haven't decided yet. That's a totally okay answer, yeah. But you can think about, writing down about your interesting area and your major. Okay. And the third question will be hometown or geographic background. Where are you coming from, and anything would you like to introduce, your background, yeah, your hometown. So you can kind of write down about a little bit of about you. Okay, and next question is your interesting area and your hobbies. What is your hobby? What do you like to do? Yeah, if we have relaxed time and have more time, summer break, what would you like to do? So write down about your interests and hobbies. Okay, so next question is educational goals. Yeah, educational goals. Anything, maybe I'm gonna finish this bachelor's degree, yeah? Maybe I'm gonna pursue a master's and PhD. And what would be your goal? Educational goals? Okay, so next question is, what is your life goals? Maybe you wanna marry and have 4 children, and you wanna have a farm, or you wanna be a teacher and maybe educate other people. So, life goals. And next one is your dream job. Maybe it can be relating with your life goals, but what is your dream job? What would you like to be? Okay, next one. What is your biggest fear? Do you have any fear? I know some students, I don't have any fear. I mean, that's really awesome, yeah? But anything we need to know ahead, yeah? Okay, so next question will be what would be your greatest joy? So, what would be your greatest joy? Okay. The last question will be, what would you like to learn most through this course? I know this question can be hard because you didn't, maybe you don't have a textbook right now, but think about just generally what would you like to learn about psychology? So we can talk about those. It's okay. Some of the students usually say, "Oh, I want to know about everything." Yeah, in this, lecture, in this chapter, in this book. That's okay too. So for the concurrent student, there's an introduction on your blackboard. So please write about, who are you and introduce yourself and try to respond to one of your classmates. Yeah, say about hi, yeah, hi Daniel, and those introduce each other. Okay, good. So yeah, all done, Daniel? Okay, good, good. If you don't mind, would you come front and then maybe introduce about yourself, or you feel not comfortable? Yeah, you're good. Because everybody will watch you. This is like a broadcasting through the TV, so it will be a good chance you can say to your mama. Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
So yes, yeah, here.
So my name is Daniel Landry. My major is nursing. I was born in Ketchum, Oklahoma. It's like a little small lake town. It's like a vacation town, not a huge population. But I spent about 6 years in the Army and got my staff sergeant. And then I wanted to do something else, so I'm using my GI Bill to try and become a nurse, travel nurse.
Okay, that's really awesome. Yeah, so next one will be any like a hobbies and maybe your interests.
My hobbies, I really don't have a whole lot of hobbies. I like just going out and doing stuff outdoors. I can go ride four-wheelers, maybe go fishing,
Okay.
take my dog to the lake. I don't know, anything really.
Okay, yeah. How many dogs do you have?
I have one golden retriever. I have a roommate, though. He has a Doberman, so technically 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Okay, good. Thank you. How about your education goals and maybe life goals? And you said you want to be a
Mainly, I
traveling
want to
nurse,
be a travel nurse, but I want to be good at what I do. I mean,
Sure,
really
sure.
good. Like, I want to, people to look at me and want to hire me for the hospital or something. So I just want to learn as much as I can, and I'm a really big procrastinator, so that'll be a problem.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about those, yeah, as maybe one of the maybe traits or personality. We can kind of dig into in that chapter. It
Yeah.
will be interesting. We can talk together. How about maybe biggest fear?
I mean, that's kind of more personal,
Oh
but
yeah. Oh, don't share. Yeah, if it is personal,
no,
and
it's,
don't
it's
say.
fine. It's just biggest fear is pretty much just not being good enough to go to heaven. Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
With
Yeah,
God, but
yeah, sure. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Anything greatest joy?
my dog mainly.
Your
I look
dog?
forward to seeing my dog
Yeah?
when I get home. But
Okay, golden retriever, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, yes, thank you. Anything maybe would you like to learn through this course?
pretty much just anything that's going to help me with my future job.
Sure,
I want to learn
sure.
as much as possible. I don't want to get out of college and say I didn't learn much. But yeah, pretty much just soak up as much information as possible.
Yeah, because you want to be a traveling nurse, so
Yes, ma'am.
you need to deal with communication, people, and try to understand their mind and behavior, and then maybe try to catch fast and give the right direction as a nurse. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
that would be really cool. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I appreciate. appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you, thank you. So I know I do not see you, but please through the blackboard, introduce yourself. I'm going to respond for your writing about introduction part. So please write who you are and your name, major. So I know concurrent students, you do not have a major yet, but thinking about what would be your dream major. What would you like to study more? Your interesting area. I haven't decided yet, which is good, which is a good answer too. Yeah, but we want to kind of get to know each other as a class, so that would be really good, step one. Okay, so we are all good, introduce each other, and I really appreciate you. Okay, so usually the first class, we do not cover not much whole information about psychology, but we are all done about introducing each other. So I will cover about chapter 1. Yeah, chapter 1, we are going to talk about what is psychology. That's really big question and interesting question too. So right now, I know you're watching the TV. On your paper, any paper, Daniel, if you need any extra paper, you can use this one, yeah? Or maybe your notebook, or write down about what is your own definition of what is psychology. It doesn't need to be textbook definition of the psychology. Just write, your own thought about what is psychology. Okay. So think about what is psychology. So we will talk together about the definition. Yeah. So Daniel, if you don't mind, what is psychology?
I put the study of human personality traits, reactions, and interactions with other humans, and why the brain works the way it does.
Yes, very good, very good. You pretty much cover, every aspect of, human beings, mind and behavior, which is really awesome. I would like to hear from you too, like concurrent students. You think about what is psychology. So think about that big question. It doesn't need to be textbook definition. Then you're just focusing on personality, and also brain function, and pretty much covering all the area of learning and development, which is really awesome. So we are going to talk about what is psychology. That's really big question. And there will be exam 1 question. What is psychology? Number 1, question in the exam 1, what is psychology? The second part, we are going to talk about this chapter. Psychology is many subfields. So there are other fields previously and later, and there are so many psychology area, like a school psychology, educational psychology, developmental psychology, child psychology, maybe I need to introduce about what I've been teaching at RSU. I've been teaching at RSU since 2013. So I've been teaching Introduction to Psychology for TV, TV students and concurrent students, and Developmental Psychology, and Child Psychology, and Psychology of Adolescence, and Psychology of Well-being, and Research Method 1. So I've been teaching variety of those psychology area and field. So we will talk about those, then and now, like a past and now, and the science of psychology. We want to say psychology as a science, because psychology is different than philosophy. So we will talk more about that part. So let's kind of define the definition of psychology, which is, maybe it's kind of more extra information. So I try to put as much as all the information through the PowerPoint. So it will help for your exam. So psychology, based on the textbook definition, and maybe it can be short form, it's a scientific study of behavior and mental processes. So you kind of cover the whole thing. What is psychology? Psychology is scientific study of mind and behavior. So mind can be inside, like a mental processes, like an inner world, right? And behavior is more like outer side. You can see why the person behave in that way. You can kind of observe those behavior, right? So psychology is scientific study of mind and behavior. I know you're taking my class, and after finishing this whole semester, somebody may ask you, oh, Daniel, you took Introduction to Psychology. What is psychology then? And you may say, psychology is
The study of behavior and mental processes, which is pretty close to what I was saying earlier.
Yes. But don't forget, you need to say scientific.
The scientific study of behavior and mental processes.
Because psychology, we do some experiment. We do ask people, like a survey, right? And we do observe people's behavior. Philosophers, they have good wisdom about life and their development, but not necessarily through survey or experiment. But psychology, we really do care about scientific area. So scientific study of mind and behavior. So we want to do research about, whenever say, people, maybe certain even behavior, if you have a very narrow-minded, they may do not have much friends. Can you assume in that way? People are very narrow-minded. Those people, they may not have much friend, right? So do not say in that way. In order to say that, psychologists, we want to prove it through research, through survey. We may ask people, maybe do you have any narrow-minded, friends, and versus like open-minded friends, and they may kind of choose, maybe some poll, so who has more friends, quantifiable data, or maybe asking questions, interview process, we want to prove it. Those are scientific way. That's why psychology, we want to say scientific study of mind and behavior. So we are going to talk about research. But research means maybe in biology, they are going to do some laboratory work, right? But psychology, we want to do more survey. And through statistics, try to find some significance. Is it really narrow-minded people, they have less friends than compared to open-minded people or not? We need to see the data. How can you prove it? Maybe through a survey, maybe through interview people. Those are scientific part. Okay, so behavior is kind of outside and action, and we can kind of observe quickly. Mental processes, like a mind part, it can be challenging. Internal and covert activity of our mind. We are smiling, but maybe deep inside we are maybe nervous. It can be true to me. Okay, so those are inside. We do not see, but we try to understand. Because counseling, and therapy, right? People look okay. I mean, they can walk well, yeah, and they smiling, yeah, but maybe deep inside that person maybe suffering. Maybe some sorrow is going on. Maybe some hurt is going on, right? So as a psychologist and therapist, we want to see and help you get to normal your life, your daily life through therapy session and through counseling, right? Yeah. So those are psychology, which is awesome. And defining psychology one more time, that's your number one question in your exam, like exam 1. What is psychology? There's more multiple choice, right? Number 1, psychology is science about study of science. Yeah, maybe number 2, psychology science study of mind and behavior. Number 3, psychology is scientific study of mind. Number 4, psychology scientific study of mind and behavior. That's the answer. Okay, how does it work? Our multiple choice question will be just like that. But when we have kind of closer to the exam, I'm going to give you a study guide. But during the class, I'm going to remind you this is really important concept. Today's lecture was focusing on introduction, introduce each other, and also what is psychology? Psychology is a scientific study of mind and behavior. We really want to say scientific because we do research, like through survey and also through interview people. Yeah, that's the scientific part. And misconceptions of the field, because psychology, people say, oh, it's all about counseling. It's all about therapy. Personally, I'm not a counseling major or maybe therapist, which means I'm more focusing on educational psychology and developmental psychology. So I really want to know about human beings' development, like a conception through death. Yeah, those are like a developmental psychologist to do, and I love teaching and learning and helping other people's development. Yeah, but I'm not necessarily I'm not a counselor. I'm not trained in that way. So psychology is a pretty much big, broad area, but those counseling session is blooming, a very important part of the psychology. So psychology and psychiatrist. So psychiatrist, sometimes we may confuse between psychologist and psychiatrist. But psychiatrists, they are medical doctor and try to give some prescription medicine, and severe case they can do surgery. But psychologists, we do not do those kind of severe case, more like through counseling and helping you kind of get back to your normal life. So that's kind of little difference about psychologist and psychiatrist. Okay, so kind of those are more explanation. Let's talk about the next concept, psychologist's big question. It will be interesting since you are taking psychology class. Think about when you go outside, try to observe people's behavior. Why that people is so polite, try to hold the door for me. And some of them, they just ignore. Some of them even say hello and hi, they do not respond. Have you ever experienced in that way? Yeah, there are very kind people and maybe not kind. Yeah, but why do they behave in that way? I want to ask Daniel. I mean, maybe this morning or maybe yesterday, maybe just like a daily life, maybe you met very kind people. They may say hi even though you do not know them. Yeah, hi and how are you? And maybe kind of gentle, those conversation. And some of them, they do not have any eye contact. And even though you just kind of follow them, they do not hold their door. There are two different kind of species in this world, right? Any guess why they behave in that way? Maybe any thought about those?
Probably a lot to do with just how you grew up. A lot of people around you really does have a lot of input into how you're going to act in the future.
Yeah.
It could change in a positive way or in a negative way, but...
Very good, very good. So today's the topic. We are going to talk about, that person is kind of very rude. Why is that? Yeah. Is it maybe he or she was born with this? Like a nature. You are born, maybe inherited in that way. Or maybe because of the environment. Growing up, those history, maybe environment make that person behave in that way. Those are big question of nature or nurture. Yeah, nature or nurture. So psychologists, we really want to talk about, is it just like that person behave very kindly? Maybe that person is born in that way. Maybe kindness gene is inherited from their grandparents to the parents to that person. Yeah, or maybe through those environment, maybe he or she is growing up very nurturing and warm and caring environment. So that person become very kind and loving person. Yeah. So we will talk about those nature versus nurture. Yeah, that's a big question, big question. So at this moment, think about good example. Good example. It doesn't need to be your example, but maybe somebody else's example. Oh, I think it's definitely showing maybe nature because I know their parents. I know their family well, and she or he does have a certain personality. I'm sure that's from more nature. Yeah, nature. Or maybe you can think about yourself. Maybe certain behavior is from my mom. Certain maybe characteristic is definitely from my dad. Yeah. So those are more nurture, inherited, genetic element. And nurture is environment. Outside, kind of growing up. Yeah, what kind of maybe teachers you have met and through your K through 12 experience, or what kind of maybe house kind of in the neighborhood you kind of growing up. That can be nurture part, right? So nature versus nurture. If somebody behaves a certain way, is it because of that person's nature or that person's nurture? Yeah, so at this moment, I'm going to give you time. Think about good example. It can be you, your example, your personality, or somebody else's personality, or maybe trait and anything else. Yeah, so think about it, and then you may think about it too. So if you can give me any nature and nurture example. Yeah, I will give you a couple of minutes. So we will talk together about nature and nurture. It's a big question, but interesting question as well, right? Okay. Any good example? If you don't have it, that's okay, totally okay. You kind of keep thinking, yeah?
I would say maybe, an example of nurture would probably be like leadership in the military. Whenever you have some leadership that is really good or really bad, sometimes that is due to their raising up in the military, how they were treated, how their leadership was, and that nurtured them to be that leadership that supports you or something like that.
Sure.
And then nature, some people have a more calm, patient demeanor, and that's just their nature. And then there's also some people that are just fast talking and then, all this other stuff, and that's just how they are. But I don't know that.
Yeah, very good example. Thank you so much. Yeah. And honestly, there are always nature and nurture together. When we try to understand that person, we need to think of both of the sides, right? Nature and, nurture. If somebody is really good and very kind and calm, probably their parents are they kind of in a calm and those kind maybe personality, maybe inherited some of them, and also maybe environment-wise, because that person is growing maybe nearby their parents and relatives who may have those similar personality or maybe traits, right? So environmental wise too, maybe make that person become calm and kind person, right? And leadership can be too, maybe do good leaders, probably those leadership from their parents. Yeah, maybe genetic element too, but kind of growing up with a good parents together, and that person become very good, leader, and maybe helping other people, other soldiers. That's a really good example. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Yay. So the next big question will be change or stability. Certain personality and change, the traits, I want to ask you and other people too, do you believe maybe personality can be changed? Anybody? Personality can be changed? Yes, yeah. Yeah, to a certain point. Yes, yeah. So maybe in personality and trait, we feel like those are more, it's there, right? But if that person wanna really intentionally change my personality, surely they can change. Yeah, they can change maybe toward a more positive personality, right? Yeah, so one of the example will be my example, change versus like a stability. I used to be very, very shy person. I was really calm, but more like a very shy person. And growing up in South Korea, like be quiet is much better than be loud, because there's even like a proverb: silence is gold. Yeah, because that means silence means you nod when somebody kind of say about certain things. Try to support, kind of nodding and be quiet. Do not kind of jumping on the conversation and talk too much. But I guess here, us in the United States, we are different. We are different, right? We need to talk. If you do not talk, that means you do not know about anything about this topic, right? Yeah. So I was very shy child, yeah. And even I do not move my body much, like even sleeping time. Still does. So, position is really important for me. So maybe I'm going to ask Daniel. So Daniel, when you sleep, do you move your body so you kind of move around, or maybe pretty much steady kind of? Little bit? Yeah? Okay. I mean, still I do not move much. Yeah, so guess what? I even do not move my body much and very quiet. My nickname was Picture, because picture is right there. do not move and talk much. But as a young girl, I didn't like my personality or traits. Yeah, they kind of, I really want to be more outgoing. I feel like I envy of my friends who is very talkative and more engaged with more outdoor sports and activities. So I try to intentionally change my personality, become more extroverted. And whenever I have a chance to go out and speak up, I chose that chance. Even though I was scared, I tried to kind of become more active and more extroverted person. So I believe it has been changed. It has been changed. Extremely shy girl to right now. Look at me. I'm teaching in front of you and through TV. So it's big change. Yeah. But I do believe when I go back home, I don't want to say much. I just be quiet and kind of relax and kind of recharge at home. So probably certain those traits, personality, some shyness and quietness is still there. Stability is still there, but it has been changed. At least like outside, like my behavior wise, right? So change or stability, even though it's sounds like a totally two different topic, it is not. When we try to understand a person's learning and development, it's both are there. Change is there and also stability is there. So both are really matter. Try to understand human beings' mind and behavior. So the third question will be universal or unique. Is it really universal way, like a calm and shyness, or it's only happened to me, maybe that maybe person's culture? Actually, when you are shy and quiet, in traditional way of culture in Korea, it's really good strength of your personality. It's not bad at all. Yeah, but thinking about that, you came to the United States. I was, I went to graduate school here, UT Austin, and I still remember the first day of my graduate school, just like the first day of your introduction to psychology today. I was there, I was ready, and I read those chapter 1 and kind of begin to those in the discussion. There are about like 20 students because those are graduate school, yeah. And professor kind of say about certain topic. Randomly people kind of jumping on the topic and talk about what do they think and how do they read those textbook and all different kind of knowledge they have about that topic. But I could not say any word. Maybe back then I was maybe limited English. Still, I do make a mistake, but back then I was shy. My kind of shy, my gene kind of kick in more, and also, I don't know what to say. Yeah, even though I have knowledge in my brain, but I cannot express fully what I have, and also I want to share with other people. So I was shy, and I feel more kind of isolated because I do not talk much during the class. So I got my own strategy. So no matter what, so when the beginning of the class, I raise my hand, I talk what I want to say, like maybe a couple of minutes, like 2 minutes and 3 minutes, but at least I want to kind of share my opinion, and because for me it's really hard to jump in the conversation among people kind of talk very loudly. So I just kind of raise my hand. Oh, I have a question, and I think about this way. So my solution was one time per session. One time when you enter, when you have those lecture session, maybe you're listening to the lecture, you need to say at least one time. So I try to intentionally speak up. And those shyness was not a good trait here in the United States. So when you're thinking about universal and unique, it can be tricky. It can be tricky, right? Some shyness and maybe some calm personality can be really positive in certain country, right? But that trait, those personality, it's not working well in the United States, right? So there's some uniqueness and maybe some universal issue. So we can thinking about this big topic. Yes, yes. So we've been talking about nature, nurture, change, stability, universal, and unique perspective of the learning. There are so many topics we will discuss together throughout this whole chapter. So thinking about that, maybe anxious personality, thinking about. We do anxious. I'm anxious. Honestly, I'm smiling at you, but I'm kind of a little anxious because, this is like my first class, TV class. A little anxious is going on. You feel like, oh, yeah, you look confident. You look okay, but maybe I'm a little anxious too. But those in anxious personality can be, maybe from my parents. Or maybe this is like a situational environment, right? This is broadcast through the TV. That makes me anxious, yeah? It can be. So those are more like an environment, like a nurturing part too, yeah? So it's really hard to say, oh, this is only nature. This is only universal perspective. It's really hard. Honestly, right answer is both. Nature, nurture, change, stability, universal, uniqueness. We need to see both of the two different sides. It's different, but it's not totally different. You need to understand in that way. So since we've been kind of talking about these 3 big topics, thinking about can you give me any good example? Anything like a nature, nurture, change, stability, universal, or unique. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes and think about any example. It can be your experience or maybe somebody else's experience. Because I really like connect. When we learn certain concept about psychology, we try to understand through our daily life. Yeah. So think about it. If you can give me any good example, that would be great. So I will give you maybe a couple of minutes. Yeah. So think about your example. Anything would you like to share? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I know you think about any good examples. Yeah, Daniel, if you don't mind, can you think of any of those examples? Nature, nurture, change, stability, universal or unique.
I would think sometimes whenever some people are just naturally funny, that is in their natures. I mean, you can't really teach funny. You can't go to. I mean, you can go to school to be funny, but I don't know. It's
Sure.
just in the nature of them to be funny.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to think of a nurture thing. Not really sure. Maybe say you are really shy and not outgoing, and you don't feel like people accept you very much because you were went through foster care system or something, so that nurtured you into being that way. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, very good, very good. I mean, thinking about like a fun, yeah, people very humorous, I guess. Yeah, humorous people. I want to be like a humorous person too, but yeah, everybody does. Sometimes it's really hard, right, for certain cases. Have you ever met those humorous people maybe near you?
Some people that don't even try, and they're just absolutely hilarious.
Okay. Have you thought of maybe I want to be like them? Maybe.
Try.
You want to try? Okay, yeah. That's really interesting. Yeah, maybe we can think about those humorous people thinking about their nurture side. You feel like maybe their parents are more kind of maybe not that seriously, kind of see, maybe smiling more. I mean, maybe more happy, kind of upbeat, kind of those temperament. Yeah, possibly. And do not, even though it's a hard situation, think it can be sarcastic sometimes, but still, maybe treat them as more lightweighted, not the like, oh, yeah, it's too hard and it's not gonna work. And instead of those, oh, it's another block, but I knew it, something like that, right? Yeah. So I guess those humorous people can be raised by humorous parents, possibly. Yeah, those are nurture part, and also maybe near the maybe relatives and environment wise, like maybe school wise, maybe the friends and peers. They're more like maybe they do not know the seriousness too much about kind of growing up. They're kind of try to encourage you, and it will be okay. Yeah, it will be all done. Yeah, promise, and maybe believe yourself. And maybe there's like one or two, even like students and maybe peers who can encourage that person. So keep kind of going, having some more positive perspective toward the life and become having those humor, even though very hard situation. Yeah, it can be. So we are going to talk about those topics. That's a really good topic. Yeah, so this class is more like really depending on how we try to understand each other. So maybe, for example, Daniel want to be like a humorous person. I do too. And how that person become that much humorous, even though the situation is not that great, honestly, but still have some joys. I can see some joys and maybe their smiling face or maybe attitude, right? So we really want to know what makes the person become humorous. Is it because of their parents, like a genetic element, or kind of growing up, like a nurture, environment, maybe friend? So finding out maybe that person has a really, really humorous brother, maybe humorous sister. Yeah, maybe that's why growing up environment, right? Okay, so it will be interesting topic. So are you ready for the next, like a subject of this chapter too? Okay, good. So there are so many fields like applied specializations and kind of subfield and now and past. So I'm gonna we are gonna talk about all different kind of psychology. I mean, today a little bit and this Thursday. This is like a chapter 1. So chapter 1 is I briefly touching every aspect of psychology and history of psychology too. So starting from chapter 2, we're going to talk about brain development, human brain development, and how we use our brain. So one of the one like an in-class assignment will be, we do drive. Daniel, you do drive too? Yeah, you drive. So while you drive, our brain is activating. Yeah, activating. So we are going to talk about brain development while you are driving. So we can kind of connect. You know, we just like unconsciously, we can kind of drive right now, yeah, accelerator and stop. But thinking about when you begin to learn how to drive. When did you start to drive?
Probably about 15.
15.
And my dad started teaching me, and
Okay.
he was not the right person to teach
Oh,
me.
not the right person too. Okay, but you got the lesson from your dad, yeah? And you said the four-wheelers, you kind of drive, maybe four-wheelers,
Oh yeah, I went
yeah?
mudding all the time in my pasture before then. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we will talk about those driving skill and how does your brain kind of function. It will be interesting, but that's a chapter 2. But chapter 1, I try to cover as much as possible all the different kind of field of psychology. And later chapter, we may dig in more information. So clinical psychology, and counseling psychology, and industrial and organizational psychology, IO, that's really popular now, yeah, and community psychology, and forensic psychology, and educational psychology, yeah. And after introducing this all different kind of field of psychology, I'm going to kind of go back to more like a traditional old style of thinking about structuralism and functionalism, other kind of perspective of psychology, the origins of psychology as well. So this is interesting. So I'm going to introduce just kind of touching because we cannot cover everything in this chapter, right? Yeah. So here, first one. Maybe I can cover a couple of those psychology, yeah. So maybe I'm gonna show next one too, so you can kind of see. Yeah, here. So other basic research specialization, which is developmental psychology. I'm teaching developmental psychology this semester. I mean, every semester I'm teaching developmental psychology. So that's the division of psychology. Personality psychology, humorous. It's interesting, lazy, or maybe calm, shy. Those are all the traits, right? And personality. Those are personality psychology, which is like a chapter 12 in this textbook. So we are going to cover, and development psychology is chapter 11 and 10. So we're going to cover, but this chapter I'm going to introduce. There are so many different kinds of psychology we will learn together. And physiological psychology, which is more like a neuroscience and biological psychology, and social psychology. We try to get to know each other, and we do live in this world not alone, with other people. So social psychology, why do people behave in that way? I don't get it, right? Those kind of things, yeah. Social psychology, health psychology, and comparative psychology. So compare the other species and try to understand. Yeah, so there are so many different kinds of psychology. We can begin to clinical psychology, a little bit of clinical psychology. Clinical psychology, they really focusing on psychological disorder, maybe some severe case, maybe depression, anxiety. It's really commonly happen, but more deeper than that, maybe schizophrenia. So maybe they really want to focusing on relating with a hospital setting, and psychiatrists try to help those people. So those are more like a clinical psychology. They do counseling and therapy, but sometimes they do kind of care about many times more severe case. And counseling psychology, it's kind of similar. Yeah, both can be related with the therapy and counseling. And counseling psychology more focusing on the person was pretty okay and they can do like a daily life. But tornado hit their house, and after that she cannot sleep, she cannot breathe well. So try to do through those counseling and helping going back to the regular and normal life. So those are more like through counseling and therapy. So we do have other, like a psychology. We are gonna talk and introduce each other more this Thursday. Yeah, so Daniel, are you excited about this class?
Yeah, especially since I'm the only one in here, like in the actual.
Okay.
I like it's gonna be a little bit more one-on-one, and this is kind of the class you would want that for, so.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Yeah.